whatever.
Nice muscles, Tyler, dude.
I actually give a whole talk about treating our work like an athletic event. And when you see it that way, it doesn't mean you don't have fun. And I mean, having a shift drink and hanging with the people you just did battle with should never be taken away. But I mean, what's wrong with like calling that out a little bit? It almost feels like our industry is growing up a little bit. And I know it's easy to hold on to what was and to really glorify it. And I liked the School of Hard Knocks. I liked how hard life was. I felt like I was doing something not a lot of people could handle. But it doesn't mean it needs to be the norm. And I think that to have that stuff challenged, I don't think is that awful.
I admit I don't look like the athlete of the day supposed to look. My belly's just a little big, my hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad. And there were two bad people. One was John Wayne and he's dead, brother, and the other one's right here.
If you just shut the fuck up for 30 seconds, you might learn something.
Welcome to Plumluvfoods Live, #1 live digital audio industry show for chefs by chefs. Hosted by multi-time Food Network winner and award-winning chef, Chef Plum, and culinary veteran, star of the Food Saver commercial, Chef Jeff. So wrap, date, and rotate because the boys are about to set your Nissan flaws. Here are the Good Brothers.
Oh yeah! Plumluvfoods Live, everybody. Welcome to the program. Getting excited. Drinking beer, hanging out, you know. Doing exactly what it is that we do here at Plumluvfoods Live. Very excited to see you. I am your boy, Chef Plum, hanging out with you live here on the internet, because that's where all the fun things happen in the world, on the internet. I'm going to try to play some music here. We've had some problems before, but hopefully it's not now. We are live, as live can be, on Facebook, on Instagram, on all the places you can be. Oh, we're not on Instagram yet. My fault. Twitch, I think we just got onto. YouTube, all the things, you know. Joined, as always, by my good brothers, the one and only Chef Jeffy here with me. Hey, Jeffy, what's up, buddy?
What up, fam? I'm in the building.
There. I love it. And of course, Chef Dan's with us as well. What's up, brother?
What up? Happy to be here.
Hey,
brother Dan.
First of all, I mean, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but what a fucking day, huh? What a fucking
amazing
day.
Fucking day.
What a fucking day. What a fucking
special day. It's 420.
Oh. Yes.
Shout out my cousin Louisa. It's her birthday.
Okay. You have Louisa?
Yep.
Where's she from?
Colombia.
Oh.
It's my cousin John's wife.
Okay.
You know, LS. Loose Screws, remember him? White Rhino.
Yeah. I remember that guy. Uh-huh.
His wife. It's her birthday. That happened today.
Shout out to her.
That we're talking about?
That? Shout out to her. Happy birthday.
Shout out Louisa.
I'm trying to make this not private. This post got put privately, but shout out to her. That's exciting. Shout out to all the people out there having a great time on 420, like I'm sure Jeffy is, like I'm sure Dan is, like I'm sure our guest here in a second is about to. And of course tonight we've got a great interview. We were hanging out with the one and only, the legend in the cannabis food scene, Jeffy, joining us in a little while. We had a sit down interview with him earlier this week. Hawaii Mike's gonna be on the program with us, man.
Hawaii Mike, man, our dude. What a great guy. Super fun, chef for hire, visionary. He's out there serving the people cannabis. Today he's super busy. Shout out Hawaii Mike. He's dropping all sorts of awesome stuff all over New York City. Check him out on his website. And
Hawaii Mike was the man. He was the man.
Yeah, what a great guy, right? Positive.
Very
positive vibrations, good vibes, good weed.
Smart as hell. He was dropping all kinds of knowledge, dropping gems, saying huge, massive words.
Yeah, he was.
Talking science. He was
symbolic. A lot of syllables in those words.
Lots of syllables.
That's a word, I'm sure it is. If we were playing Scrabble, you would have got some points.
Do you see this? That's how it works. I have a microphone. It makes me nervous.
There you go.
That's how we do it.
That's it. But today, boys, a very big day. We're very excited about it. Today, it was announced, restaurant road trip. was nominated for a few Emmys, and we're very excited about that. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to shout out again because joining us right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Joining us right now in the program is a man who is at least half of the brain behind Restaurant Road Trip. He is a very, very talented individual. He is also
couldn't make it happen without him.
Absolutely not. He is also the man who is head of the Hawaiian Shirt Fan Club and a massive fan of keeping those shirts unbuttoned while he's working. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Danny Miami, is joining us. Yeah! There he is.
It's our boy right there.
Wearing the wrong shirt.
Well, listen, we caught you at a weird time, chest hair enthusiast. Yes, that's amazing. Well, listen, and also coming up, but while we have Dan here, before we get to it, we got to also point out something very exciting we do on this program that, much like all other news programs, Danny in Miami, that we actually have, that's a little bit different, but the same, that makes us super important. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look down below underneath your screen, you will see the Plumluvfoods live ticker. All right, let's go. Yes. Here we go. Let's go. The live ticker.
Here we go.
Come on, Dan. That's the ticker. Right. That's awesome.
I'm reading this. Sick.
He's like, I'm reading it. I don't even know.
I just saw my title that you had down there, and I'm like, damn.
No games.
Well, Dan, thanks for taking a few minutes to hang out with us, man. And, of course, before we get it moving here, I want to say congratulations, cheers to you and all of your hard work on Restaurant Road Trip. I mean, I'll tell you what, honestly, the show is what it is because of you, and we're so happy to work with you, and fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Thank you, brother. Ton of fun. I'm happy that we are where we are now.
Well, it's just...
Oh yeah, me too, man.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical.
It is hysterical.
It's hysterical, but it's a good show, man. It's good vibes. We're doing like a good work, you know? It's like it feels good to be recognized on top of knowing that we're doing such good work for like
helping restaurants out.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about meeting these people and spreading the love of what they're doing. Really,
right.
You know, like we're making them the stars of this, and having that be recognized by other people I'm so fucking like just humbled and just blown away by the whole process. Like, you guys are awesome. I feel just blessed to be part of the team. Like, it's like,
well,
you know,
you're very helpful with what you do, Jeff, and we appreciate it. But Dan, I kind of want to. We haven't had a chance to really, even today talking. Like, I didn't have a chance to really ask you. Like, what are your thoughts on it, man? Where's your head at? Do you feel like I got asked earlier how I felt about the whole thing? I was like, how do you feel about it? How are you feeling? And I said, I feel accomplished. Is how I feel. I mean,
yeah,
what do you think?
When we were talking about it this morning, it was mostly a sense of relief from panicking for the last 5 days.
Well, listen, at about 10 o'clock this morning when they released it, right? Of course, it wasn't out right at 10 o'clock in the morning. It happened like 10:03, but at 10 o'clock in the morning, I was scanning everything, refreshing everything, and this is video footage of me doing that.
This ain't happening, man. This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
Oh my God.
Nice. There it is. Every time. Stressing.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, I was sitting in the dentist chair in the waiting room when Plum called me, though, to tell me that, he's like, yeah, is 2-time Emmy nominated Danny Miami available? It was right before I went in to get my teeth cleaned, and I'm shaking in the chair because of what he said. So it was a sense of relief, and then you're right. It's like validation that I don't know, what we've done is finally getting some recognition.
Right. I think it's kind of fun because, I mean, and Jeff and Dan, I want to hear what you're thinking about this too. Listen, obviously we want to win, of course, right? But it almost feels like you don't have to win, because once you've been Emmy nominated, like, that title's forever. Like, that title is going to ride with all four of us for the rest of our lives. Whether we win or whether we don't, we have all been Emmy nominated now. Dan, what do you think about that?
Me, yeah. I mean, it took a while to really let it register. I mean, just to think of where it came from. For me, starting off just showing up and just trying to move equipment and do stuff, and seeing the spark that this show had from the beginning of the both of you, Dan and Plum, going into these restaurants and wanting to spark up not just the restaurant but the people behind the scenes. And I think that's the thing about that we touch on, what Jeff was touching on, is how you go into a restaurant and respect that we gave the restaurant, and I think that was such a key part, and it shows the wholesome truth to it. It's real. Like everything we did was real. When we went to the corner, and the owners there were like, we've had a lot of people come in and out of here and record, and you guys are by far the best with just respect and understanding and how we treated them, and that's what it's about. It's about giving that love and respect to the chef, to the restaurant, to the owners, and that's what translates on video. And it's awesome. It feels wonderful.
Well, Dan, that's a great point. And Dan, Danny Miami, you and I talk about this a lot during the editing phase of this stuff. Like, we say it a lot. Like, we go into a working restaurant. We don't make them close. We don't say we need no guests in here, no tickets. No, we're gonna come in there, and we're gonna come in there when you're busy, because we want to show when you're busy. We want to showcase that. We want people to see what we're doing as we're doing it, and showing a real restaurant as what's happening. We don't want to come in here and plan it. Diners, drive-ins, and dives, they make you close. It's a pain in the ass. We come in and then we say, what do you want to cook? And we actually got a little more formal about it this time around, and of course Wolverdan had been reaching out to him ahead of time to figure out what they would cook and stuff. But I mean, Danny Miami, that's kind of been our MO since we started the show, since it was you and me and one camera.
Yeah, no, it's so true, man. It's I feel like what we've always done on our team, like, working with you, working with any of the guys that I work with, or the women, try to be easy to work with. Like, we're never a pain. And I think that's transferred over into how we worked with Road Trip. And so anytime we go into the restaurants, like, we're conscious of what we're doing, and I guess how it affects. Like, we'll try to bring all of our ton of gear in and pack it into the smallest little corner, which is provided to us by, like, the restaurants, thankfully, and try to keep it out of the way of the restaurants rather than taking over the whole thing, like you were saying, which is what other shows do. And yeah, no, I think it's just nice how we get good relationships with the places we go, even afterwards.
Love it. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And they love when we come back in there and stuff, which is great. Jeffy, just a thought, kind of the same question for you, buddy. Like, how does it feel? Like, what are you thinking about it when you found out that we got nominated? And I mean, you've been so great about this the whole time. You were telling me last night, because y'all was a wreck last night. You're like, dude, relax. It's not a big deal. But I don't know. It kind of was a big deal to me. But how to you?
It's not that it's not a big deal. It's a very big deal. I think being Emmy nominated makes me feel amazing. It's a big deal, like I said, to be recognized by our peers that we're doing good work, and that it's I thought it looked great, but I'm partial to it. I love it. I love the project. I love what we're doing. I love, like what Dan was saying, the whole thing, like our intent all the way through. I enjoy that. I was saying that to you last night because I just felt like stressing about it wasn't going to change the outcome, right? Yeah. Like, it was going to happen one way or the other, and just getting yourself worked up or losing sleep, that's what I meant by it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal win, lose, or draw, because we did good work. Like, we know we did good work, But now, I mean, of course I called my mother and told her, and my brother and my sister, and, like, my wife, and all the people, my aunt and everybody I know, like, hey, guess what?
Your cousin.
But that's the point. That's kind of my point about what's just so great about this program is that, we all come from different backgrounds, yet we're all kind of the same. Like, speaking specifically for myself and Chef Dan here, is that I'm not supposed to be here, man. I'm not supposed to be fucking nominated for an Emmy. I'm not. This is not stuff that happens to people.
You work hard.
But on the flip side of it, I mean, we had a goal and we pushed towards it, and that was the plan the whole time. But when it actually happens, you just look back at your life leading up to that point, and I'm going, this is just crazy talk. Like, it's just fucking crazy talk for me, Dan. I don't know. I mean, that's where it's almost, like I said, it's that validation, it's that accomplishment feeling,
On the other side of that, I'd never really been on the working side of a restaurant before you and I started working together. Like, that was never part of my life. So Road Trip over like 6 or 7 years, like, I feel like I can walk around a kitchen now behind, I'm not like that random dude in a kitchen who's just in the way anymore, I feel like. So it's right. It is weird to feel comfortable in those different situations, I guess, right? That's sort of what you're saying.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think it's totally. And it's funny how, I mean, no matter what happens in your life, this is proof in the pudding. If you work your ass off for it, you can do it. And, here we are, 4 guys from different worlds came together, made this project happen, and here we are. And I'll tell you what, I'll never let anybody say that you can't do something. And if you want it bad enough, you can do it. You just gotta be willing to work for it. You gotta be willing to do the work. That's all it is. If you're willing to do the work, you can do fucking anything. And that's
hell yeah.
It's the truth.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's testament to what we did right there. And speaking of that, stop selling yourself short. You deserve this Emmy. You work fucking hard, and you did a lot of like you wear many hats. People. I don't know if people realize that. Everyone thinks you're just like this rock star chef or whatever, but you do a lot of production. You do a lot of writing. You do a lot. I mean, you're doing.
Thanks, Jeffy.
If Danny Miami would let you edit, you would be editing. I mean, you would do anything that you could to have your hands in every little aspect of the project, and I just think it's really awesome. And it's just a pleasure to work with you, and
Thanks,
a
buddy.
pleasure to work with all of you. I mean, Danny too. I've just learned so much just from being, like I said, being part of the project. So to be part of a project like this, having it being like my first real TV project or anything, to then be also Emmy nominated, I'm like, what the hell did I step into? This is awesome. So I'm super blessed. It's like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we've hopefully got way more to come, way more options. Dan and I have been working on some other stuff about doing more with Road Trip. We're going to see what happens, and we're excited. So, honestly, I couldn't be more proud to work with you guys. Thank you for all of your hard work. I cannot wait till they announce us at the ceremony. And listen, everybody will probably want to talk. Everybody will probably want to talk at the ceremony if they let us. But if they don't, I got a great speech written that shouts out everybody.
I don't want to. That you got that one.
He's like, I have a speech written.
I got it ready.
Ready to go.
Here's the thing. Listen, it sounds silly to say, and this is gonna sound really dumb, but I say that and we're laughing. It's a joke, dude. I had this shit wrote when I was in fucking 8th grade. Like, let's go.
I'm sure it's aged very well.
I'm sure, yeah.
I mean, it's probably a lot.
And look at me now, Susan Baxter.
Little Susie, you fucking bitch.
And by the way, the Iron Sheik, you need to get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. The Hulkster's gonna take you down at WrestleMania 7.
WrestleMania 7. Dating it way back.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm so proud of us. I've had in my brain the chance to give the phone call to you guys and tell you that we have won, and that's been a dream I've had for a year now, and actually have it come true was awesome. And Dan, when you and I first talked about bringing Road Trip back and we were being on PBS, I said our goal is to do a season, then do a second season, and then get nominated for an Emmy, then hopefully win an Emmy, then go national. So we're almost there.
Climbing it. Hell yeah.
That's all we're gonna do. Danny Miami, you were the man. I can't thank you for hanging out with us for a few minutes and just sharing this moment, because we hadn't had a chance to do that all together yet. So I'm glad we had a chance to do it here. So congratulations, my friend. You deserve it. You work your ass off.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah,
y'all
Cheers,
too.
man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers, brothers.
Cheers.
Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Beautiful.
the legend, a stud of a man right there, the legendary Danny Miami. Full Send Productions. Make sure you check out at Full Send Productions on Instagram and FullSendProductions.com. See what Dan's working on. We love him. Buddy, we'll see you down the road.
Later, guys.
Love you, buddy.
There he goes. The legendary Danny
Legend.
Miami.
We love that guy. He's the best.
Yeah, one of the best humans walking the planet. No, that's the truth. He is just a sweetheart of a man, and I love him so
Super
much.
sweet.
And he's like a brother to me, and I'll do anything for the guy. He's awesome.
And he's great at what he does. He's just great at what he does. Like, he makes everything look so good, and he has such a great eye. And it's like, he's patient.
You made it sound like he only has one eye.
Well, he has one good eye, a
Okay.
great eye, and then he has one leg.
I wasn't sure what that. Somebody's microwave's popcorn's ready.
I think it's my washing machine telling me that it's done.
We were talking good about Danny Miami, so he's still sitting in the green room just listening to us talk good about him. He likes that.
He's the man.
Big shout out, man. That's awesome. So exciting. So enough about us and shouting us out for winning or being nominated for an Emmy. We're really excited about that. We got a great program tonight. Boys, we got a great interview with the one and only Hawaii Mike for 420, Jeffy's favorite holiday. It's exciting. Jeffy, where does 420 come from? Do you know?
That's a great question.
How do you not know
That's
this?
a great question. Because I don't give a shit. But let me look it up.
Well, or Dan can look it up.
I like looking things up too. I'll see.
Dan's looking it up right now. Oh, I thought you had it. You don't have it?
I had no, it doesn't say anything.
This is the problem with you stoners. You guys just write shit and nobody fucking knows.
420. 420 is cannabis culture slang for marijuana hashish consumption, especially around the time of 4:20 p.m. 1620 free-growing maritime. It also refers to cannabis-orientated celebrations to take place annually on April 20th. That's 420 in the U.S. and Canada. That's what it is.
Oh. So they're saying apparently it's believed that 420 owes its roots to 5 California high school students. And in 1971, these 5 St. Raphael high school students devised a secret code which they used to indicate to each other that it would mean they meet up later in the day to smoke some cannabis. And then it turned into a whole thing.
You're just some popular fucking kids.
They must have been popular as fuck because, yeah, that's... Say one of my friends, I'd say go 420, and he'd say it was like telepathy. We knew exactly what it meant. Okay, sounds like
all right. Well, there you go.
Fucking kids.
We got a great interview with a legend in the cannabis and food world, legendary Hawaii Mike. We had a chance to sit down with him this week, so we got that. We were hoping to have him on the show tonight, but obviously with it being 420, it's probably a very big day for him. The only thing is, the interview itself it got a little long. It's really big. The file is, so we're gonna try to play it this way. If it messes up, we'll try to catch it back up. But just bear with us. We're still learning this whole new platform, but I think it'll work out just fine. So hopefully we can make this happen. So honestly, talking to the one and only Hawaii Mike was very exciting. Hope you guys enjoy the interview. Let's check it out.
He's the best.
All right, boys. Super excited tonight. We got a really cool interview, and I can't tell you how fun this is going to be because it's going to be a learning experience for me because you guys know this is not my world at all, and not by any negative reason. It's just not my world. Never has been. Joining us now on the program is a legend when it comes to cannabis and food together. This man's worked with every major brand on the planet. He's worked with Estee Lauder. He's worked with Reebok. He's a marketing genius, and not only that, he's a G of a human being himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program the legend Hawaii Mike. All right, buddy. Yeah. There he is.
Here he is.
Good brother. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm great. Happy, excited. It's 420.
Hey, look, bro. You sitting here looking like $1 million right now. I gotta be honest with you. You look great.
Feel great.
Listen, I gotta tell you. So just right off the bat, just all things. I've never been much into marijuana at all. Let me explain to you why. But I've never. I don't care. I'm not a hater or anything. I don't give a fuck. Everybody do what the fuck they want to do. But as a kid, growing up down south, all the shit we had, I guess, would be garbage considered now. But all it did was make me tired. Like I would smoke weed and then get tired, and I'll smoke weed and get fucking tired. I hate feeling fucking tired. So it's kind of ruined me for life. And the last time I had some edibles from a friend of mine, our good brother Chef Dave, we were at a festival. I took a bite of his Nerds rope. He told me, be careful. I was like, who the fuck you talking to, young man? Let me do what I want. I took a bite. He said a stopwatch, Mike. He said a stopwatch. And he goes, all right, I got about 20 minutes. What do you want to do? By the time we went from upstairs in the casino to downstairs to the tables where I want to play blackjack, he was like, how about that table, chef? And I was like, no, that dude's looking at me funny. How about that one? He goes, nah, I don't want to be at that one either. Next thing I know, Mike, I wake up. I'm at the Ellen DeGeneres slot machine in 4D. She's telling me I won $28.87. I look over and my man Dave is clapping for me. I was on fucking Pluto. And I go up to my room. I got to my room. I had myself convinced it wasn't my room because it was a suite at a casino. I was confused as fuck. I tried to text my wife. I texted her literally a bunch of letters. It was like, and she was like, what happened to you? And so that was my last experience. So I'm hoping this interview tonight will educate me and change me. But I want to put that on the table up front. But just so you know, I have no, people do what they want to do. I'm all for it. It's all good. So pleasure to meet you, my friend.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. I mean, I hear so many of these stories. I get the, oh my God, how can I do a whole dinner? Because this one time I ate a brownie. I'm like,
right.
How often do you compare eating a brownie to dinner? You know what I'm saying? Besides when you have cannabis in the equation.
Okay.
Right. Otherwise, you'd be like, you're crazy. You're talking about a brownie and you're talking about dinner. Those are two different things, right? But as soon as you have cannabis in that space, people start to make these crazy assumptions and generalizations. And I'm like, Well, it depends who you're with. There's so many different ways. Yes, I could lay you out. And yes, in the very beginning, when we were figuring it out, like, yeah, people were a little bit too there. But, you know, the point was to figure out responsible consumption through proper dosing and get us to a place where everybody's good. Okay. So, you know, when you have those experiences, like you're saying, like you had, it's like we want to help people understand that, yes, you can go that far, but you're going to be okay. And there's a safe ground, there's a middle ground that you could find for most people, right? Just like there's some people that can't drink alcohol. They take a sip and they're just done.
I've never met the. Yes, Jeffy's here.
Yeah, I'm a bad alcohol. I get sloppy fast. Like I'll end up throwing up.
So we're all different. Yeah. We're all individuals.
Yeah. Oh, you a drinker, Mike? Do you enjoy a cocktail every now and then?
I was really good at it for probably about 25 years. Like I was great. Yeah. Like me and my wife could knock out like a liter of Jameson in a night, and I'd get up and go to work the next day, no problem.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, I don't go to work till late, but anyway, I was still, you know, I own the business. I got there when I got there, right? So it is, but yeah, that part. Like I did it. I stopped 2017. So 6 years.
Just stopped totally.
Yeah, just
okay.
Yeah, Super Bowl 2017.
Wow. All right. So, but you probably don't. If people want to have a beer, you don't give a shit. Like you don't judge none of that.
Oh,
shit.
I still drink I'll taste our cocktails. If I drink alcohol, I mean, we make an actual cocktail with liquor, I'll still taste it. So I'm not opposed. It's not something where I'm like, no, I can't around it. Like you guys are filthy. Like no, whatever, drink, bro. I got my water.
So you know, you're also a chef, so you've seen the worst and the best of people as it is, no doubt about it. Yeah. Hey, just to kind of set the table, so people who just like understand kind of how this works, tell us a little bit about you infusing foods with cannabis. How do we go about like what's the method? Is there like a this is how you do it, or this is how we're learning to do it, or we've done this and this, and we're trying to figure out this way now too. And how do you do it, and why, of course, and how much flavor does it add?
So I can answer that question or those questions in so many different ways, right? So it really depends on, I think, your intentions and why you cook with cannabis. Okay. Because how you cook with cannabis is pretty much the same way as saying how you cook in the kitchen, right? You cook any way you want, bro. Like, yeah. You want to use metal utensils on a nonstick pan and you're just gonna do it? Like, okay, cool. Okay, that's your thing. Great, right? Like whatever you want to do. So it's that same kind of way. For us, our mission is to normalize the use of cannabinoids as an everyday essential for overall health and human well-being, right?
Well, slow down, brother. You just said a big word there that we got to define.
What's up?
Cannabinoid?
Yeah, so cannabinoids are the chemical compounds found in the cannabis plant, right? And so
good stuff.
We're really, so a lot of the good things. And what really got me, terpenes are also great. What really got me into it is another big word, the endocannabinoid system.
Okay.
So we have it, what they call, the acronym is the ECS. So we'll keep it as the ECS for right now. And it basically oversees or works with every other system in your body, right? So you know, you smoke and you could get tired. You smoke, you could get energetic. You smoke, you could get happy. You could get sleepy. You could get all these different feelings, emotions, right? Chemical compound like CBD helps with inflammation, right? It helps reduce it. So our bodies naturally actually create CBD. So if we get an injury, CBD is created in our body. So we have a symbiotic relationship with this plant, all right? So that endocannabinoid system that wants to create homeostasis for our bodies and regulates us is affected by the cannabinoids found in the cannabis plant. And then we have.
Tell me, Mike was to come on here and use like 9 words that had 18 syllables in the first like 10 seconds. That was crazy.
Hey man,
here's a little graph.
There we go.
Okay, here we go. But let's see if we can break this down a little bit then.
Yep. So the CB1 receptor, right? That's going to be up in your brain, central nervous system, and so like when you smoke, that's what it basically affects. It goes right to your CB1. When you eat it, it's connected to your other organs in your body, mainly the liver. So it goes into your liver and then gets processed into delta hydroxy 11. So it actually magnifies the effect when it processes through your liver. So for some people, that's incredible. For other people, that's what gets them really messed up, especially when they eat too much too fast.
Wow.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So yeah, so it's like, again, so see how they have all these keys, right? So you really think of it as like a lock and key for us. So imagine, like, for me, the way I look at it is, if we have this intention of how we want to feel, and say to the cannabis, you know, however we consume it, smoke it, eat it, you know, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for with this plant right now. How can it help me heal? You know, is it something mental, physical, spiritual, whatever it may be? And I feel putting that intention helps drive the experience. Now, I'm probably one of the few. Go ahead, Chef.
No. I'm just curious. So we've established what these things are. How do we extract these from the plant and get them into food?
Yeah. So there's a various way. Any fats, really, it'll just bind with the fats. Some better than others. So like coconut oil is heavily bioavailable and gets into your system a lot better. But we use olive oil as well. We use honey. We have a habanero honey that we made. We actually just collaborated with Schmackwich. They make a Wagyu chopped cheese, right? So we infuse their schmack sauce and their honey, and so that's how we're going to infuse the sandwiches with them.
Okay.
I'm starving. We got any more schmack sauce, Jeffy?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm in.
Let's go.
Yeah. So the
You'll be
Wagyu
tripping on
chopped
that schmack
cheese.
sauce.
Yeah, it's great. So there's a small boy, then there's a big boy. So yeah, it's you know, so pizza is another great one, right? You know, again, olive oil, but butters, olive oil. We actually make ghee, so we like to just, you know, clarify the butter and use it that way. Obviously, more shelf stable, higher smoke point. We get to do a lot more with it, because that's the other thing is, you know, when you're cooking with cannabis, also you got to be very aware of the smoke point. Right?
If it's a low smoke point, it'll burn the cannabis, right?
Exactly. Right. So if it's starting to smoke, it's smoking.
Yeah.
And that means, right? So you're getting high.
Yeah.
So that means it's combusting. Right. So as it's combusting, it's degrading, even though it doesn't completely go away because it's in an oil form now. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, my cat's saying hi.
That's all right.
Hey, cat.
Now you say fat, but you can't use dairy like milk, right? It doesn't work as well, right? Isn't there like a aspect to dairy that doesn't allow it to work?
Yeah, it's so it won't hold as strong, right? But if it's in a homogeneous recipe, like a batter of a sort, right, where you're mixing multiple ingredients and you get it homogenized just like you do everything else, right?
Yeah.
Why not go into the milk first? You know, hit that. Get into whatever your cream you're gonna make, get into whatever your eggs, whatever else you add, and then just start building out, right? Whatever that is. And so it's again just chef, right?
Yeah.
Like you're
There's
gonna
not enough
experiment.
fat in milk, right? That's why you have to use, like, there's not enough fat in milk, I think, to really extract enough into it. That's why maybe you need the cream or something with a higher milk fat content that would.
But if you get the right temperatures, you add the right other ingredients, maybe a little maltodextrin, maybe you know what I'm saying? Like, so right? So now you're looking at it again, it's gastronomy in a sense, right? To put it in chef's terms.
Yeah, totally. How'd you get into doing this, man? Because obviously it's a passion, you know, and it's your business now. But like, how do you get into doing this, man? Because obviously you're a chef and you've been like a marketing genius. Like, how did you?
I've never cooked online. So I've never cooked online. I never started cooking. Well, I was a prep cook was my very first job.
Okay.
Right.
Gig.
My dad was is a musician, and his girl at the time was an executive chef at a restaurant, Calzones, in San Francisco on Columbus. Right. And so I was a prep cook there at like 14.
Right.
And so I learned, you know, I was in the back doing, like, you know, the vegetables. I was measuring and splitting dough and putting it away. And so, like, that's what I first learned. So the claw and everything kind of stuck with me from that age. So I just always cooked. Right. And so friends would ask me, you know, they would always stay over my crib if we were out late, shit like that, because they knew I'd wake up and cook.
You make some kind of breakfast for them.
And I started fucking around cooking in high school with weed, right? Just messing around, like not anything serious. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this when I get older.
Right. Not even really know what you're doing, just fucking with learning it.
Yeah, I was bastardized and still was horrible, but you know, I guess it planted the seed and just became something that, you know, down the line became the norm for me, right? So literally, to me, it's my alchemy. Like that's the only way I can really explain it. Like, and I believe that truly. Like, even if you guys are chefs, you guys know that's, if you feel that shit in your heart, like in the way we do, like that's different than a lot of other creative outlets that people have. You know,
when you're actually creating something that people are gonna put in their bodies and eat and nourish people, it changes everything. You know,
right?
It's a different type
Absolutely.
of. I don't believe. I've always said I don't think food is art. I think it's more science than art. But you're still like creating that. It takes a love to do it. You know what I mean? It's definitely a love thing. And food always brings people together. And we always say at the end of the show, you know, everything important in life happens around food. And you know, I've said it my entire life. Whether you have a new, like, you're married, everybody comes to eat. You go on a first date, you go out to fucking eat. Somebody dies, what do? We all fucking eat. Food always brings people together. That's what it does. I feel like that's what you're doing now, and it's a big part of who you are, is bringing people together. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Nah, 100%. My purpose, I found, is to hold space so that people can gather and be their authentic selves. And food is this incredible universal language. Everybody eats, right? And then, like you were saying before, it's like this energy exchange that you get to have, especially if you lead from your heart intentionally. There's like a whole other kind of connection that you can have with people, and they don't even have to know what you're doing, right? Like, it's just something.
We need to show them how we do the magic trick. Just watch the trick.
Yeah, right. And that's why I think, again, intentions and then what you're creating. And I do think science is art, right? There's a lot of creativity in science. Yeah. You have to be super curious. You have to go against the grain. You have to try shit nobody's thinking of. That's very creative, right? Yeah. So they to me, everything is creative. We're all artistic. We're even in science, right? Even in biology and how we're put together. We look, move, and kind of act the same, but you open us up, like we'll have shit that's crossed over differently in our bodies, or like shit, my pinkies are like this. like we all got crazy shit. Like,
I got fucked up pinky too, man. Look at that shit. It's all fucked up. Look at this. Here go my regular joint right here. That's my fucked up one. There you go. There it is. Well, it's funny, Mike. Mike, I love this. This is fucking so awesome what you're saying. I feel like the kindred spirit. That's so how I look at this whole thing. And saying that science is art is so fucking on point. I've never heard that, and I love it. And I'm gonna steal it. If that's okay. But I'm gonna credit you. Like, why Mike says this. But I'm gonna tell you right now. I was just in Florida and for spring break with the girls, my kids. I took them to see Taylor Swift. Was the whole situation. I was not feeling in love with the food in the area of Florida that I was at, which I don't want to say because it was not good. And they weren't. There was no love. No, there was no love there.
Okay. It'll never be allowed back. PBS will get all these messages.
Yo.
One can't go back.
It's so interesting, man, what you do and how you've made this entire thing. You've made a career. Like, you've made a business out of this, which is awesome. How did that start?
So one thing I didn't touch on, but I'll start with it here and get into that, is eating is a full sensory experience. Once I learned that part and put that together, along with what you were saying before, the gathering part, right?
Right.
Food is part of every celebration. There's nowhere you go where you're celebrating and there's not food. It's the conversation. It's an argument. It's territory. It's God. It's everything, right? It's food is energy. Food is our Shakti. Food is our chi. Food is our, right? And if you don't feed your chi, you don't feed your Shakti, your energy, like, you're not going to operate. You're not at a high level. And I'm a high operating individual. So I got to properly, both mentally, physically, all that. So the connection for me became educational to people, right? When I found out about what I was talking about before, the endocannabinoid system, I wanted to educate my people. So that's how this started, right? So 2015, we launched the Supper Club to educate people on the endocannabinoid system and our products and what we were developing. So originally the plan was we were going to go to Cali, where I'm from, San Francisco, and I wanted to launch the brand there. But I saw Prop 64 was horrible, and I was like, so I'm not risking that. I got a son in high school. I can't go out there and be 10 toes on the ground. So I'm gonna plant my flag in New York, with the capital of the globe, right? And when recreational comes here, that's the tipping point, right?
And
One or another, right? And now we're here.
We're there.
Right. So that's how the dinner started, was that when we operated them August 2015, every single month, at least one, up until March 14th was the last one, 2020, that we did in a row consecutively.
Wow.
So we did 56 months in a row. And then it was just the pandemic when we weren't able to gather anymore. Right. So if you think about that, for me, it was like some kind of, reset. For everybody it was, right? But for me, it was a very special one, because I was able to now, in a bad way, be broken up from my people, but in a good way, open up a restaurant June 2020, right? Something I never did before, and just a space to feed my people, right? We couldn't even eat inside. That everybody's outside on the stoop.
Yeah.
So we're in Brooklyn on DeKalb Ave, right above downtown Brooklyn. We're in Fort Greene, and it was just, the energy was insane, and it was great. We had it for like a little over a year.
That's crazy.
And then now I'm back.
Yeah, you're about to reopen the restaurant, right?
Yeah. So I got the space back.
That's great.
That's what's up.
Yo,
so we got an opportunity to just be there. So I'm psyched.
So shout out to you, Dan. Let's get some plugs in here for Hawaii Mike, man, because we've been talking to him and get his plugs out there for him.
Absolutely. First and foremost, go Chef for Hire, HIGHER.com. Check him out there. He got all kinds. You sign up for the program, and then check him on IG at HWMK, and then at Chef for Hire. Also check out his podcast about to pop off at Mask Soft Pod, and the restaurant at Fly Private Social.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Jeffy made that little
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that was like my old Facebook pictures. I gotta go change that. Like, Facebook is horrible, man.
Look like a stud right here. What are you talking about? Look at this.
No, I'm just saying it's an old picture. That's all.
You got the pinkies up, bro.
The pinkies up.
Look, he put the weird pinkies up too. That's the weird. That's the one. He put the fucking crazy pinkies up. Well, Jeff, this is definitely more your speed, man. I know you got some questions. I want to talk to Mike about some stuff, man. Throw it out there.
I honestly, I love. How do you? How long did it take you to figure out how to dose a dinner properly? Like, how long did it take you guys? Like, trial and error. Like, was it like a year, 2 years? Like, did you have to have a nurse on staff for a little while just to make sure, like, hey, if you have a panic attack, I got this lady over here. She knows shit. Like, how did that work? Like, how did you?
She knows shit.
That's an awesome job title. Nurse, yeah. She knows shit.
She knows some shit.
Nurse, she knows shit. That's her full name.
Yeah, she's seen some shit. She's good.
American, that's her last name. She knows shit.
So, all right. I started cooking like seriously with it around 2013. I met a woman from Seattle, and she was doing it, and we partnered. I was more on the marketing side. And we were going to start a catering company, restaurant, all that. And long story short, it didn't work out. So I kind of caught the bug. And then that's when I really started cooking. And so my foray into cooking seriously was paralleled with learning how to cook with science, the science of cannabis, right? And so I've cooked with the whole plant to the, leaves, shake, bubble hash, shatter when it was dark black, when 710 wasn't even started yet. And man, like just till now where we get, we use distillate mostly, but rosin for certain events. And it's been a definite trial and error. There's been a lot of very highs, luckily not a lot of lows. I do find that, we tweak our events so that, I've been able to do it where we used alcohol, very, curated. And I've also done it where there's no beer, no wine for a long time, right? Because I found like some very, random kind of offness with beer and especially red wine.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like through that trial and error, lots of waivers. Luckily, no nurses.
Yeah, nice.
You
Nobody had to know shit.
yeah, no nurses. Everybody knows shit. Nah. But yeah, it's and again, like, it sounds a little off sometimes, but it's really the intentions for me, right? Because this is really, with the food is energy, with us just being humans, but also, like I was talking about, that symbiotic relationship that we have with cannabis, it's even more of an energy exchange and shift, right? And I really feel through how we do this, we guide people's experiences, because we have people from all walks of life. Last dinner we did, we only had 2 people that had been there before.
That's
right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was all new people, and then 2 of those people had never smoked or had any kind of cannabis experience prior.
Wow, that's great.
Right? So that's what kind of
Blank
got
canvas.
me to calling them flights, was because of the trust that we started to receive from our community, right? Like, people trusted us. They were just like, nah, go to a chef for hire dinner, you're good. Or just tell them you've never been before and don't worry, they'll explain everything. And so I look at the trust that you give a captain on an airplane, right?
Yeah.
That person you've never met in your life. You might not even see the captain, the person that's flying you, right? But you take 37,000 feet in the air and you trust them to land safely at your destination. That's a lot of trust.
Know some shit.
Right? Yeah. So I'm your captain, Hawaii Mike. You know, these are our flight attendants.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you can get our products at the duty free.
I love it.
You know, like, so it's all kind of themed in that sense. But that's kind of how we got there. And it definitely took, I would say, man, we started probably about a year or so before the launch of the Supper Club.
Right.
And I would say probably even a year and a half into the Supper Club, it took me to really dial it in, where I could fully, like, I wouldn't even say control, I'll say influence the experience.
So,
yeah.
Mike, let me ask you just really quick, Jeffy. Sorry, I'm just curious, because you had talked about how people sign waivers, and you know, I've done tons of pop-up dinners, and I know that permits are a pain in the fucking ass. Like, so when you do a pop-up dinner like this, do you have to pull a bunch, especially a cannabis dinner? Is it a different permit you have to pull now, or is it? I mean, how does that work? Or
well, what are you pulling a permit for? Where are you doing your dinner at?
Alcohol.
Yeah, but see, we're not doing alcohol like that.
That's what I'm curious about, because it's still a controlled substance. They make you pull. They don't.
But it's in the privacy of your own home. Why would I tell people? Bro? People are just hiring me.
Private
event. They had already. Yeah, they had already had some of ours in stock, and I threw it in the dinner while we was there. You know, they'd already paid us. It was before we got paid before that.
My shit would be public. I was like a public place, and like we sold tickets, and like people
would
come to dinner.
Yeah, different, way different.
Okay,
right. But like, we just did a dinner at it was like a yoga studio, and they wanted us to get insurance, and
that's not hard
because New York is legal. We got insurance, and you got covered for cannabis also.
Dude, $100, you get fucking $500,000 insurance for the day. You're good.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 something because it was cannabis. So it was like
to change a little bit. Yeah,
of course. You know,
yeah, of course.
Pay your money, sir. Pay us your
money. They're coming for it.
You know what I'm saying? Pay if you gotta pay to play, and then I'm just gonna let you pass for free. Come on.
That's true. No, that's true.
Everybody wants their cut.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So you talked about how you're cooking now with a lot more distillate and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So do you find that you need to increase your use with of terps when like in final product to bring out the flavor of marijuana in the food, or is that something that you don't like? Do you not worry about the flavor of the marijuana, and it's just more about like banging food with the medicated element? Like how what's your approach to the dinner, I guess is my question.
As far as like the cannabis flavors, like I don't really enjoy it. Like, I'm actually about to start rocking with some terps though, and just kind of see how we can weave it into the dining experience without overpowering anything.
Totally.
For me, activated cannabis isn't the best tasting. It's pretty bitter. And so I kind of stay away from that. And for us, it's normalizing this experience. It's normalizing having a food experience that's infused, medicated, and you can, figure out your desired effects. That's my goal. I want people to do this at home with our products, right?
Absolutely.
Like, take our olive oil home, make your own recipes, and whatever you make, and infuse it to the level that you want. right? That's one of the big things that I teach. Like I was saying before about the smoking point, we never really cook with only infused oil, right? I'll usually always start a recipe with non-infused oil, and then just
you
add
put a
in
little
as
in
soon
there.
as there's
Yeah.
enough in the pan that's not gonna allow it to smoke. Like if I'm in saute, like I'm not gonna throw it in as soon as I throw those onions in.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I'm gonna let them
Mhm.
sweat a little bit, adds a little bit more into the pan where you know it's just not gonna smoke away. You
No.
know. Now if
Like
I'm
the way a
caramelizing,
chef might mount something with butter, you like mount it with a little bit of the flavored oil.
Yep.
Like I like that.
yeah. But you could even do it earlier than that. It's just it just depends on the smoking point and where you're cooking, you know. So,
But that's
like,
important when you're cooking with cannabis. You don't want to get it too hot, right? Because that's when things start to break down. That's like an important part of cooking with cannabis for all the other chefs out there who are interested in doing this. Because I know as a chef, I love cooking with cannabis. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's like, and the terp thing for me that I find really interesting is that you could kind of like really kind of take the consumer in a different direction, right? Like they can like certain terps, like the smell, like almost like the aromatherapy aspect of like the like you were saying, multi-sensory part of the dinner. You know, it's like just the smell of certain types of weed kind of can accentuate a certain type of feeling, and I feel like that's kind of a cool way to use them as opposed to putting them in where you're going to eat them, but kind of introducing them during the meal at like different times. You know, I think that's like
I say the possibilities are endless. That's the beauty of it, right? Just like cooking. You can cook, you know, an egg how many different ways? Like it's a fucking egg. Like,
so many.
There's a number. Dan, do you
But
remember?
there's one right way though.
There's one right way.
It was the folds in your toque was how many ways to cook an egg. Some shit like that. I'm sure Dan's looking it up right now for us. But
yeah.
Mike, I'm curious to know about a little bit, and we'll get back to that in a minute. I'm curious to know about a little bit more of the cocktails. So you were talking about infusing cocktails.
Yep.
Because there's not like a lot of fat in a cocktail, you know, the fat that we've been talking about. Like, so how do you kind of infuse that into a cocktail, and what would you do? And give us an example.
There's the long form of it, right, where you would just let it kind of soak in a dark place over like 3 weeks, a month, and just let it,
like into a spirit, like soak into a spirit.
I mean, any kind of liquor that you wanted, right? So there's that. Yeah, and then there's a couple other ways. I don't like saying them because I didn't necessarily get in trouble for it, but like not trade secret, but it's just you don't want too many people because people can get really fucked up on alcohol. I was originally gonna make something that could infuse alcohol, and then like too many people were like, "Nah, it's irresponsible. You shouldn't do that shit." Like, because we used alcohol jokingly as a gateway drug to quell the anticipation of when the effects from ingesting cannabis through a coursed meal were going to take effect. Right? Alcohol, as soon as you take a sip, it's an immediate.
And everybody knows it.
Yeah, it's just immediate reaction. It's something familiar. It calms you down, gives you a little bit of that liquid courage, and people are able to kind of get into it. They forget about, oh, I'm eating cannabis, and when's it going to happen? So that's what we used it for. It wasn't like we just got people sloshed and things like that. Now, there was a time when somebody challenged me to a drinking contest on infused stuff, and they got a little sloshed, and that was kind of bad.
Well, that sounds like any drinking contest with grown adults. What are we talking about here? Like,
yeah, but trust me, I was really good at drinking. Like, I was great. Like,
I got the belt at the moment. I got the belt.
Olympian. You don't even know.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man. Well, I like that, but just saying it like you said, like just even something simple as just I had no idea that you could just infuse it. So, and again, this is me being layman here, playing the listener who doesn't understand any of this. If I just have my regular like bag of weed, I can take some of that and put it into my tequila and just let it hang out in there, much like I would infuse it with something else.
But I would know, but see, you'd have to decarboxylate it first. So you would have to activate it.
Decarboxylate, Mike. That's a big ass word too.
So that you have to activate it, right?
In college.
So if I just have the flowers, right? So if I'm just holding a bud, it's THCA. So it's great. There's cannabinoids, there's nutrients, there's great things in it. But it's not going to get you high if I just eat it. Right? So you have to activate it first, put it in the oven, well, grind it up, get it nice, put it in something like if you're archaic, foil. If you're not, something where it's more airtight, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a ton of different ways you can get a machine, you can get, shout out to
listen, when I was a kid, none of my friends' fucking faucets in their bathrooms had screens anymore. I used to do the whole can, and we all stick all their fucking faucets and the screens and the Budweiser can. Let's go. Sorry, go ahead.
So you have to decarb. always you have to decarboxylate it, and then just let it get with it. So
you can't decarboxylate it. You're using heat to decarboxylate it, but maybe even but boiling is not hot enough, I'm guessing.
Well, boiling. So if you boil it, it's 212. It'll take a lot longer.
Right.
I usually do 240-ish in the oven, depending where you're at. So you really got to figure that out and what's best for you if you're using flour. If you're doing like a extract that needs to be decarbed, then it's kind of like when the bubbles stop, then you're good, because that means everything, all the rest of it's pure, it's just out. So that's it, and then you put it in. So
the science behind it, it's actually really fucking cool, man. It's really interesting.
It's all science.
Very cool.
We're science, right?
Yeah.
Like we're animals, and understanding how we work, and that's the fun thing about the strains. Like I believe in the future they're going to be able to kind of like make strains that are specific to each individual human's needs.
Wow.
Right? Because everything's a hybrid at this point.
Absolutely.
Right? And once we truly understand how this plant like really works with us and affects us, because like if you talk to growers, a lot of them will say, if you have an ailment, have the grower have the same ailment, or if you have the ailment, be around the plant because it wants to heal everything it's around.
Damn.
Right? So that's again, like why would we have been risking our lives for so long, you know what I'm saying, for this plant?
Right.
You don't see us doing that for anything else, not this way, not peacefully,
except for religion, which is Jeffy's thing. We want to get to that.
Why you gotta attack me? Why you always gotta attack me?
Every war we've ever been in is because of religion.
Oh man. All right.
Your people look exactly like my people, but you don't believe the same crazy shit that I believe, so we're gonna fucking kill you.
Touche.
Sorry, Mike.
Religion.
Fuck.
It's like religion.
Hey, Mike, you got a deep connection, man, yourself to music, and I love this about you because you've done so much stuff, man. You worked with fucking Inked magazine. You've done so much stuff, man, and your deep connection to music and hip hop. Talk about how it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're doing now.
Man, so I always kind of say I've lived like 5-6 lifetimes, right? And hip hop is the culture, the music, culture is kind of how you live your life, right? And is what really has been, again, a connector, just like food is, just like cannabis is, to everything in my life, my career, my peers, my friends, my lovers. Like it all comes through those kind of three things.
Yeah.
I was selling weed as a teenager, going to a music convention, and I got offered an internship in New York. That's how I got here. Right?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then as my friends started to get, or I was working with artists and my friends were getting corporate cards, we just started going to every restaurant, like and just going to eat everywhere. And we started developing relationships with, different restaurants. Like we got cool with the people at Blue Ribbon when they were first going, and we used to smoke in the back and open the little window in the back once they were about to close and smoke weed out there, and Bowery Bar. And so it's just always kind of been those things, that really gather.
Yeah. It's so similar to the kitchen, man, because so much. One of the things that bonds everybody together in the kitchen, we talk about it a lot in this program, is, black, white, red, purple, green, Christian, none of it cares. As long as you can handle your end of the station, that's all that matters. We don't give a fuck about any of that shit. And the bond usually ends up being that music that's playing in the kitchen the whole time, whether it's metal music or every kitchen I've ever worked in, from my experience. Whoever gets there first gets to control the music.
Yep.
So that's how Chef always taught me. That's how I taught other chefs too. But like, it was a ton of hip hop, man. Like I remember years and years ago, like Power 93 was the radio station in Richmond, Virginia. We listened to it. It was a hip hop station.
Yep.
Like 10 o'clock at night, Power 93 would turn into the Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm. And it was all R&B music, but from 10 o'clock on, and we would be singing. It was the best thing ever. I tell you, some of the best advice I ever got in my life was in that fucking music. Oh my God. A wise gold-toothed man, Mike, once told me, he goes, Plum,
Hey.
there you go.
So this was like, I think this was the last issue I did.
Wow.
So funny thing about this one is he was actually wearing not gray, but all blue camouflage hat, everything. It was like, it was the wildest. Yeah, and so this was, the days of early days of Photoshop, and so we had to change that to make him not look so wild. And it was such an interesting, because he was living in Arizona at the time, and that's where we went to go shoot him. And he lost a gun because he saw some people like with headlights on the mountain. It looked like his mountain, right above his backyard, but it was really the next one. And so he hopped on his bike. He's like, "We gotta go. There's some people. They're over there. Let's get them." And and so he was going, and he came back. He was like, "I don't know. I lost my gun. I can't find it." But yeah, I was like a picture. Oh, wait, there we go. With me and DMX.
Oh, look at that shit, man.
So that's like 17 years ago. Looking at this shit, that's fucking crazy. This is 2006.
Bro, that's incredible.
Damn.
That's wild.
I mean, one of those greats of my fucking DMX was the man, dude. And one of my favorite things that just came out, I think it came out right before he died or short before he died. That YouTube thing that he and Snoop did was just fucking incredible. Just the respect.
YouTube or the verses?
Yeah. It's just the respect thing that they had. I think I saw it on YouTube is where I'm saying. That's why I saw it on YouTube. But like the respect level between the two of them was incredible. I mean, DMX he didn't have much stamina anymore. Like he would say a few words and he'd sit down for a minute afterwards. But still, it was fucking DMX and Snoop. It was awesome.
Bro,
I keep forgetting. There's Snoop in the back. Right?
Yeah, same affair. Yeah. But it's funny how the music brings everybody together, man, which is pretty cool. I think it's awesome.
I mean, I've only worked, and I use the word work very lightly, in places where I love. Like I couldn't have wrote this shit. Like I wrote Managed Mobb Deep during the Infamous album. I got their plaques. I got a plaque for Friday. Like I did street promotions for the movie Friday. Like that's crazy. Working at the Source, creating Inked magazine, so it's been just a blessing. And that's like, if ever I give advice, I just like surrender. Just like if you surrender to whatever life this is, it's already in the writings on the walls. Like it's already there. You might as well just go ride the wave as best you can.
Wow.
Like that's my best advice, because it's it's like I talk to so many people that don't look at life as an opportunity. They look at it like it's just coming at them, right? And it's like I gotta constantly, kind of duck and dodge. And it's like, well, yeah, you gotta kind of like duck dive and go under, but also you gotta paddle to get yourself in position, to get that wave. And it's like life can be so interesting, man, because it's going, right? We've never been able to stop it. Like there hasn't been like that 8th day of rest since that 8th day.
It's gonna rise in the east no matter what. It's coming up. Whether we get it, whether or not.
it's happening.
Always comes tomorrow.
Right? It's like standing it's like standing in front of a merry-go-round and you just keep getting smacked and not moving. They're trying to just pop on it, like, it's like, bro, it's just going around.
It's that mentality, like just being excited, like every day something new is gonna happen. It's exciting. Like what the fuck happens tomorrow? Like tomorrow's gonna be awesome. And I think that's the vibe I'm getting from you, man. And it's infectious. I gotta be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Life's an amusement park.
Yeah. Well, listen, your story is incredible. Like you said, you've lived 7 lifetimes, and I can't wait for the book to come out when it does. I'll be the first fucking pre-order. I'm telling you, because it's gonna be a great fucking book.
Oh wait, it'll be right there. That'll be the name of the cookbook. Dinner's Dope.
Oh, there it is.
Dinner's Dope.
By the way,
about it.
Your slow motion finger, that was incredible. Just pointing
Right?
out. Hey, Dan, we've been talking a lot here, man. I know you've got some questions for Mike too. I want to make sure you get him in there before we get him out of here. Yeah, see, Dan actually doesn't have a voice. He talks like
I muted it because my daughter got home and she was making all kinds of noise. I have a ton of questions. I'm gonna go down to one. You was talking about teaching people. You have products you got coming out. How are you going to educate people on how to properly use it so they don't, put too much or, like you said, waste their money by you trying to saute scallops in weed oil? Like, what are you going to try to do for that?
I think we're gonna do a few things. One, obviously, we'll put information on the actual products themselves. Two, I think we're gonna start developing the website out, more content, probably on YouTube and things of that nature. More just talking about our perspective and how we cook with cannabis and why. And then I think the cookbook, once that comes out, which will be exploration through all of our past supper clubs that we did, like just all those past recipes, well, not all of them, but a nice selection of them, and just showing people again why we did it, how we started it, and then how you can actually do this at home if you want to do it for friends, for yourself, for a bunch of people, or you want to start your own catering company. I just give you kind of like a little bit of a blueprint or roadmap to how to get there. So and then I think working with the dispensaries as we're able to open up and get this to more people through the legal channels. And then, events, you can always hire us. We love doing that as well. So I think it's a ton. And then also it's like, how do we work with other chefs? Because I think this is going to come up a lot. And there's a ton of private chefs that cook for families that why not be able to do this for their clients in the privacy of their own home, and it's like, how do you help those people do that? So I think there's also a huge opportunity in educating the chefs, because I've just seen a lot of people get stuck right at the it's not an ingredient anymore, or they don't think of it as an ingredient. And it's like once you start thinking of it as an ingredient, it's like you just start cooking again, right? It should be a fluid process.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to stop in the middle of a recipe and go get a calculator out and do math. It should be something that you learn to becomes fluid, because you're working with an ingredient.
The hardest thing to do is to figure out the dosage. I've always had it, like we talked about that earlier, but yeah, I think that for people figuring out how much to put on and not overdoing it, not throwing too much olive oil in there, balancing it. Like I read in some of the stuff about you, how you try to the transgression from one to the other.
What was that word?
I don't know.
Transition.
Jesus, my mouth is not working properly. From beginning to end, to making sure you don't hit people with too much.
Yep.
You have me sitting quietly. My brain gets all fumbled.
It's all good though.
Yeah, I got it. I'm just being laughed at. For people making their own stuff, can you do just a quick little thing about the difference between what you said, resin and
rosin and distillate.
Yeah.
So,
like a little breakdown to tell people a little bit the difference between the two.
Yep. So distillate is where you basically extract the cannabinoids. You're basically stripping everything from the plant using a solvent. And then you go through a whole other process where you just keep distilling it down and down and down until you get to basically the pure THC molecule. So it's 91%, 3% pure THC. So out of 1 gram, 930 milligrams are THC.
That's a nice.
Right? So and what's great about that though is now it doesn't really taste like much. It's much more potent. So then now I can use a lot less. Right? So that's great. So there's a lot of benefits to that part. Also, since it's just THC, I believe in, for what we do, trying to create that even keel kind of experience, especially for those first timers or those people that are coming in where it's like, I'm kind of scared, or I had this one time. It's like, it gives them a nice, even experience. And that helps us to make them feel more empowered, right? When they leave. And then they get more curious and they'll go explore and learn for themselves. So then with rosin is where you take a heat press and weight and just squish out all of the nice gooey cannabinoids, right? But now that's full spectrum. So you're getting all of the cannabinoids in that plant, not just THC. So whatever that plant has, you're going to get that stuff too. But also the THC content's a lot lower, more in the range of 60 to 70%. So 600 to 700 milligrams per 1,000.
Damn, there's some serious science going on here. Jeffy, what you got for Mike before we get him out of here?
Yeah, no, that's the best way, Dan. What he was just talking about to keep your dosage like on the money. You can actually dial it in a lot better that way when you get it down to the gram and what you're going to add to everything, and it's easier to dose that out amongst more people. It's like that's the best way to do it.
And one ml
jewels right now.
1 ml is very close to 1 gram, right? So it's like a 0.07 difference, 0.05 difference. So it's not huge. And you can basically just kind of use it as a 1-to-1, you know, and then that's how you kind of do your math. So as long as you know what you're working with and it's been tested, then it's just math after that, as far as doing the dosage, understanding your yields and your recipes and all that.
That's what's up, man.
Mike,
when's your next event? Like, when's the next like thing that's going on? When's the restaurant opening? What's
My next event is, I think, going to be next weekend, the 29th. I had to postpone the one last weekend because we were redoing our stairs. So I think I'm going to do it next weekend.
That's what's up.
And then, yeah, well, today we did that collab with, what's it called? Schmackwich. So that was fun. And then what else we got coming up? The restaurant opens in May. So we're going to kind of soft open Thursdays and Sundays. Some might be private dinners and events. Right. Sometimes we'll be open regular. Like we'll put up a schedule and just kind of feel it out, get our rhythm. But again, we're just going to explore, you know, hip hop through food, man, and just have some fun with it, you know?
That's what's up. Is there going to be some live music there?
I don't know about live music, but we'll definitely have like DJs and stuff like that.
DJs and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's a nice bar, you know, upstairs, and then we got the full kitchen downstairs, and then I'm trying to work out a kind of like dining room area that we're gonna kind of close off to make our cabin for the flights.
That's what's up. Sounds beautiful.
I love the cabin for the flight thing. That's fantastic, bro.
It's all after that. That's why it's do you fly private. That's how we ask people if you partake in edibles, right?
Yeah,
you know,
fly private.
Yeah, fly you get high, private they're discreet. So do you fly private?
Beautiful.
All the time. Right now, actually.
Man, we thank you so much, dude. You're awesome. Seriously, I love your whole mindset. I love your positivity. It's infectious, like I was saying. And brother, if we can do anything to help you in the future, please don't hesitate. We do a lot of events and a lot of things. So you know, I followed you on Instagram, so feel free.
Awesome, I'll check you out.
Yeah, to Jeffy. Dan, let's get one more big plug out there for our man, dude, before we get him out of here, because this has been such a fun conversation. I really enjoyed it. You got the plugs ready, Dan?
Absolutely. First and foremost, go to chefforhire.com. That's hire, HIGHER. And then go to HWMK on his IG. Also, Chef for Hire IG, Mask Off Pod, Fly Private Social. Doing it big. Check them out.
There it is.
Boom.
Mike, we appreciate you so much, man. Ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely, brother. Happy 420.
A pioneer in cannabis food. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawaii Mike.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me. So this was fun, bro. This was a great convo. I appreciate y'all, man. Happy 420, and then we'll see you on 7/10. That's the better holiday because that happens to be my birthday.
Hey,
there we go.
There we go. All right.
Yeah,
Hamptons, come holler.
Yeah, Hamptons. I'm coming to see you for sure, Jeffy. And then if I make it to Connecticut,
bro, I'm in Montauk all summer. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I'd love to come out there. That's what we need to really rock. That's what we need to do some infused dinners.
We gotta talk.
We're gonna definitely be in Watermill, man. You're definitely gonna be at the farm with the ladies. Shout out to Chip for hooking us up.
Big Chip.
Yeah,
the big Chipster.
Greatest name on the planet, Mike. We appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate y'all, man. Blessings, man.
There it is, boys. What a great conversation with a legendary human being right there, man. So fun. I love that conversation. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about talking to that gentleman, but he's a good brother, man.
He's awesome. He's Hawaii Mike.
Yeah.
He's fucking like, it's just vibing, man. Just doing the do.
While we were doing our thing there, talking, we had some comments coming in. Just so you guys know, big shout out from Big Chef Frank Bellotti. Big day for us. Congratulations on the Emmys. Cracking milestones, he says. I love that. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Frankie.
I just sent him a link, see if he would join us, but I was like, bro, you got to be quick if you want to join us. He ain't got in here yet, though. Also, good brother Chef Nick Callius chiming in. Congrats on the Emmys, boys. Love you. We love you too, Nick. You're the man. Totally. And of course, Bellotti was shouting out Dan, which is amazing right there.
Frankie!
And then Frankie was chiming in the whole conversation. He was like something about, yeah, you got to get paid beforehand. He's trying to get his comments in there. You know?
You know, once he's on, he's on.
That's right. Shout out to Chip Quigley. Shout out to our good brother right there. And listen, I think we made a friend there for sure. I think Hawaii Mike is one of those guys that he can become a regular. He's a great talker. He's a good human being, man. Dan, you have his plugs and stuff still or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. At HWMK is his IG. And also check out Chef for Hire, Masks Off Pod, and Fly Private Social. His restaurant coming back live pretty soon, and chefforhire.com. And that's Hire, Higher.
There it is right there. Yeah, what a good brother, man. I enjoyed that conversation a lot. It really got me interested to see, like, I mean, when you eat this food, Jeffy, this is the one question I didn't ask him because I kind of felt dumb asking it. But, like, this is a legit question. When you eat this food, do you get fucked up?
Yeah. But it's like, it's really low dose. I mean, the nerd rope that you ate that one time, that one bite you took of that was probably like 30 or 40 milligrams, which is like 4 doses for the average bear if you don't like do weed, you know, like if you're not like a pothead or whatever. I don't know. We didn't ask exactly what he dosed his dinners. I don't remember what he said. I think when I looked it up online, it's somewhere between like 25 total, and then there's like other libations throughout the thing if you want 25. Them. But like it's like you know, the dinner itself is only so much, and then you know, but there's like a vibe going on there. So it's like if you want to go higher, you can definitely go higher. If you want to just like plug into the vibe and eat the food and kind of like, you know, learn about it and all the things that's going on, like I'm sure that's a wonderful experience too. You know, someone like me, I would be like, you know,
give me all the extras.
Yeah, let me get another.
Like anything extra?
You got the where's the high tests? You know,
you'd be eating off everybody else's plate too. You'd be like, oh,
I would.
You're gonna finish that?
By the end of the evening, people's plates would be getting cleaned. Shit would be happening.
For sure.
And I'm also an animal, man. When I'm out, you guys have seen me. Like, there's no stopping me. Like, I can put it back. And it's like, you know, it could be a 30-course meal. If something's delicious, I'll be like, hey, can I get another one of those? They'll be like, are you sure? I'll be like, yeah, absolutely. I need one more.
Can I get one more bite? You got any more of that? Let me get a little more of that. You can put it in my hand. How much for one rib? Jesus, Jeffy.
How much for a rib?
Usually you pay a lot
for one rib. You can put it in my hand.
Oh, yeah, the soda. No, that was the soda. Let me get a soda.
You can put it in my hand.
5 cents. 5 cents. You can pour it in my hand. Chris Rock. That's my dude.
Yeah, so shout out to him. What a great conversation. And listen, hey, that worked out great. They played the whole interview. It didn't get choppy. It played all the way through.
Perfect. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Shout out to StreamYard for being so awesome.
StreamYard is awesome.
Yeah, he's definitely coming out to the farm this summer. You guys will be there this summer as well. Hopefully do a little taping out there, do some fun shit.
Hopefully you wanted me to cook. You never asked me to cook out there.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but it's like it's Saturdays. There's going to be a lot of bookings. I'm going to book a lot of different people to do some cool shit.
I'm a good cook.
Cook Dan. We're going to get Dan. We're going to get everybody in there.
Before we get out of here,
I'm thinking about reaching out to the boys in Hindsight, Jeff and.
Oh yeah, get them out there. Before we get out of here, joining us now live, wearing his sunglasses, look like $1 million, a legendary human being, a multi-time appearance on Hell's Kitchen, a G, a sweetheart, a gentleman that we love, and he just, I mean, what a fucking stud, ladies and gentlemen, Chef Frank Bellotti.
What's up, gentlemen? Congratulations. No. Congratulations to you guys.
Thanks, man.
No, it's big news. It took me 45 minutes to get on this, so I feel
I feel like I need a congratulations too.
You just gotta press the button.
Are those real glasses or is that a filter?
No, these are real glasses. This is what I listen to me.
Those are blue blockers. Those are blue blockers. They used to sell those on TV commercials for that shit back in the 90s.
Yeah. So now here's the thing. I got these at the bodega next to Serafina. $10. Now everybody's rocking them. I'm loving these.
Blue blockers.
Frankie, it's good to see your face, man. How's everything?
I miss you guys. I really do. I'm doing good. Hopefully I get to see you guys soon.
You look like $1 million. Look at you. You look all studly.
Thanks.
Shirt half
It's just the glasses.
I
put a shirt on just for this. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know if I was live or not.
There's something about you and Jeff. You guys walk around naked all the time.
Off too. It's
Me and Jeff, this is a little guinea too.
Yeah, you guys never take your clothes off. I don't know what the story is.
Who we do?
I like being shirtless.
Frank,
Connecting with nature.
Frank, what's your summer like? And before, when it comes to like cannabis infused food, is that your thing?
I was getting into it back in 2018, 2019, before the shit hit the fan, and I was trying to experiment with a lot of distillate and isolate, whatever he was explaining distillate. With the measurement distillate, and what he said with the 1-to-1 ratio. That's something I want to educate myself more on, and I actually want to go to one of his dinners. It's not my thing, but I would like to capitalize on it if I could.
Yeah, you're more of a cocaine guy, right?
No.
I didn't know.
What you talking?
It's not all the same.
No.
Heroin. You're a heroin dinner guy.
No, never dipped into that. No.
Well, then Jeffy lied to me, and I apologize for that. Jeffy lied.
Oh yeah, it's okay. But the weed game is very interesting, very very interesting.
Yeah, me too. It's not my thing at all, but it does sound interesting to me too.
I have funny ass stories, but you don't have enough time for that.
You can give us like the Reader's Digest version of one.
You know how I tell stories; it takes a while.
You don't have time for that.
I misdosed myself and my ex-girlfriend a long time ago.
Did you?
I went missing for like 3 hours, just trying to park my car.
Listen, one time I did acid. It took me 2.5 hours to get around a tree.
Really?
I kept fucking walking in circles around it, and I was like, this motherfucker's not moving, and I'm going in circles around it. I'm like, fuck this tree. I don't like pine trees.
No, fuck pine trees.
I stopped and took a nap. Like, it was terrible. Take a break from all the walking.
So, Jeff, I was going to come to the house while this was going on. I was going to pop up behind you and scare the hell out of you, but I didn't have enough time.
I'm in the city.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'd have taken a while.
It would have taken a long time.
Yeah, it'd take a little while.
You can come in. Come pop up behind me, big boy. I'd love to see you.
Whoa. I'm not sure if that was like an invitation or a threat or maybe a little bit of both. I don't know.
All I'm saying is I like to wrestle.
Okay.
Hey, Dan, I miss you.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Miss you too. And then give me a pair of those blue blockers.
Well, these, I'm telling you, this is the way to go. I've had these for a month, and every day I just see a new person wearing them now. I feel like I'm inspiring people. I feel like I'm influencing people.
You're an inspiring guy, Frankie. You're an inspiring guy.
Influencer. I believe that.
Jeffy, what are you looking at? Your head's down.
Rolling a joint.
I
thought he was sleeping. I was like,
I just passed out for a minute. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just, no.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Frankie, we'll see you really soon, man.
I never fell asleep during a podcast.
I'm excited. We'll see you soon. I'll be out there for sure. At least the second to last week of June. I'm coming out 2 weeks early.
How about you fucking call me back every once in a while,
bro? You call me nonstop.
I call you
doing shit.
on random fucking times just to see if you would answer. And no, I call you at every fucking hour and you don't answer ever.
Listen, I apologize.
I answer all the time. I couldn't answer today, Frank. I'm sorry.
The world is just crazy right now.
And Dan,
Frankie,
I'm sorry. I haven't called you, and I'm going to call you, Dan.
It's all good. I'm not as sensitive as they are.
Dan,
fine.
show Frankie the banner. You made it, Frankie. Dan made you a banner for the show. Here, check this out. This is for you.
I'm sorry.
He's getting this up for you right now. There you go. There it is, right there. He's got you taken care of.
He doesn't look amused, Frank.
No, you don't like that. That's the blue block. I thought they were safety glasses. I don't know.
I don't like that, Dan.
I don't like that, Dan. You got really serious. That was
not nice. That was not nice at all. Frankie, I'm gonna call you.
There's a reason I haven't called you, Dan.
Like I said, I'm not sensitive. I just respond in different ways.
Frank, do all of our friends still work in the same restaurant at that Serafina place?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, for the most part. Except for a few, yeah.
Except for a few. Except for most of the people. Except for most of the people that worked there the last time.
There was only a few to begin with.
This is true. It's true.
Listen, they have a new chef, new maitre d'. There's 2 new bartenders. That one girl that used to work there doesn't work there, but there's a girl that looks like her who works there now. So there's that, you know.
And they're under new management and new menu.
Yeah, new menu.
All new concept. Asian.
Yeah.
It's Philly cheesesteak place now.
But other than that, same shit, different day.
That's great. That sounds great. Frankie, really quick before we get you, how's the job? How's everything going at work?
Oh, great. Everything's great.
You still traveling the world?
Yeah. I'm over here now.
You're over here now.
Just hanging out. I'm waiting for you guys to come out.
How come you never play on the Oculus with us anymore?
I stubbed my toe.
What?
No, I had a bad toe injury, and I haven't been able to go on it.
That's ridiculous.
I'll go on later on.
How do you play your Oculus?
How do you play yours?
What, do you put it on your foot? I'm just confused. What happened to your toe? Like, how did you...
How do you run in the game, asshole?
With my thumb?
With your thumb? You run with your thumb, I run with my feet.
That's weird.
What do you have, like a
now I want to watch you play. Yeah, now I want to watch you play Oculus. I just see him with his headset on, just fucking trucking along. What, you on a treadmill?
Basketball court.
Frankie, I want to put Dan change your title, change your banner for you.
Thank you, Dan.
It's much better.
Can you put my prices up there at least?
No, prices.
Yo, give Miss
Full Monty is 600.
Give everybody Frankie's Groupon link. He likes that.
Yes, please. The value pack one.
Groupon.
That's
the
it.
Value pack Groupon.
Listen, make sure you check out our good friend, the one, the only Hawaii Mike. He's an awesome human being. Shout out to the boys for the Emmy. Shout out to Dan Fish for joining us early in the program. We love him very much. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to you, Jeffy. Congratulations to you, Dan.
Congratulations to you, brother.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. It's awesome. Frankie, what do you want to say? You can still talk.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys. I know I did that in the beginning, but I'm very proud of you guys. You too, Dan.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it, man. Listen, like we talked about before, like it's just, you know, we just kind of changing the game a little bit with just being the kind of guys that we are and what we do. We getting nominated for an Emmy is kind of fucking hilarious. So
it's not hilarious. It's well deserved.
Well, cheers to you, Frankie. Even though you don't drink anymore, I don't know what you do anymore. You're over there shooting heroin or snorting coke or something.
The fuck am I doing over here? I quit nicotine. I'm chewing on a toothpick because I quit nicotine. It's the only thing I ever did.
That and extort money. That's it.
Launder.
As he fucking little paid protection and you know, chew on his toothpick.
But Frankie's a big guy, Jeffy.
I don't know if he knows this. He's been away for a while.
Well, we all, since we're all past 45, we all start shrinking. That's our problem.
Get tinier.
But Frank, I gotta show you something. Though. Look at this. Let me tell you something here. Going to the gym. I just want you to see this. Look at this. Come on, son. Get you some. Get you some.
Wow, look at you.
Get you some. Come on.
Look at you.
Come on. You know, down 20 pounds.
You've really been doing it.
Wow.
Working my ass off.
You see it in the face.
No, you guys look great from like the shoulders up.
Yeah, it's all ass. It's all ass.
I have no ass at all and all belly. It's just all belly.
I try to see how many times each show Jeffy can make the no ass at all joke.
Because it's everywhere I go. I tell everyone that.
And we can always tell what time it is at night by how open Jeffy's eyes are. Let's see. Wow, he's wide open right now. That's great. Listen, I'm gonna put a bow just to get us out of here because I smell smoldering in the old dumpster. Listen. We appreciate you guys checking out the program, of course, as always. And if you listen to the podcast, we appreciate that as well. Podcast still comes out on Fridays now. It is just the audio version of this very program right now. Big shout out to our good friend Hawaii Mike for joining the program, and of course to Dan Fish. Shout out to the National Television Academy of Arts and Sciences. We appreciate you for nominating us for an Emmys. That's going to be a lot of great stories. We got a lot of fun things happening, a lot of things coming up. We're very, very excited. We look forward to Jeffy. We got next week all booked up, or are we still working on it?
Yeah, I believe John Callius is going to join us next week. Young Juan boy.
He's not Spanish. Why do you call him Juan?
That's what I just think it's his nickname.
No, but like, it's Jeffy's foreign languages. He's good at speaking. Jeffy's like multilingual. He speaks 7 languages.
I thought it was 8.
And he lost one.
Listen, sign language.
Ooh.
Yeah, I listen. I'm fluent in American Sign Language and Indonesian Sign Language.
Mm-hmm.
I speak Mexican Spanish, Puerto Rican Spanish.
Okay.
I speak Sicilian, Napolitan, Italian. I speak a little bit of.
What?
Yep, I keep speaking.
What?
Tiny bit of Greek.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
That's all I know in Greek, actually.
Sorry, Frankie. I apologize.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
Hey, listen, we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the program. Frankie, good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us for at least the end of the show. We appreciate that.
Frankie.
Love you guys.
You are the man. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, friends and family, food is one of the most important things we have in life. Oh, it's not playing yet. Why is it playing, Jeff?
Too sweet to be
I don't hear it.
funky like
Everything important in life involves.
Sky's the limit and space is the
Oh,
place.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to
Peace.
Plumluvfoods Live. See you next week, good brothers and sisters.